In this video, we're going to learn how to check the refrigerant pressure of an air conditioning unit. Measuring refrigerant pressure correctly is one of the most important steps in diagnosing the health and performance of an AC system. It requires not only the proper tools, but also technical knowledge. So attempting this without training can be dangerous. Before doing any work on an AC unit, always prioritize safety. Start by switching off the main power supply to the unit. This prevents the risk of electrical shock while setting up your tools. Next, check the manufacturer's label on the unit to confirm which type of refrigerant is used. Different refrigerants, such as R22, R410a, or R32, operate at different pressures, so knowing the correct type is critical. Always wear safety goggles and gloves, because refrigerants can cause frostbite-like burns if they come into contact with your skin, and inhaling refrigerant vapors can be harmful. If you're working in a closed room, make sure there's good ventilation. To check refrigerant pressure, you will need a manifold gauge set. This tool has two gauges, a blue gauge for the low pressure side, a red gauge for the high pressure side. Both are connected by hoses, and there is usually a third yellow hose used for charging, recovery, or evacuation. In addition, wrenches are necessary for opening and closing the service valves on the unit. Every AC system has two main lines, the discharge line or the high pressure line, which carries hot compressed refrigerant. The suction line or low pressure line, which carries cool refrigerant gas back to the compressor. The blue hose connects to the low pressure service port, while the red hose connects to the high pressure service port. The yellow hose should remain closed unless you're connecting it to a recovery machine, vacuum pump, or refrigerant cylinder. Once the hoses are properly connected, make sure the valves on the manifold are closed. If they are open, refrigerant could escape or mix between the two sides, which would cause inaccurate readings and could be dangerous. Now, turn on the power and allow the air conditioner to run for at least 10 minutes. This stabilizes the system so that the refrigerant pressure equalizes and gives you accurate readings. When you check the gauges, the low pressure gauge, blue, typically shows values between 60 and 120 pounds per square inch for many systems, depending on the refrigerant type and operating conditions. The high pressure gauge, red, often shows values between 150 and 350 pounds per square inch, again depending on the refrigerant and ambient temperature. Keep in mind that these ranges are only examples. The actual pressures vary with outdoor temperature, indoor load, and refrigerant type. This is why it's essential to compare your readings with the manufacturer's specifications listed on the unit's label or in the service manual. If the refrigerant pressure is too low, the system may have a leak or insufficient charge, and additional refrigerant will need to be added. If the refrigerant pressure is too high, it may indicate overcharging, a blocked condenser coil, or poor airflow, and refrigerant may need to be carefully removed. Remember, adding or removing refrigerant should only be performed by certified technicians, as refrigerant handling requires compliance with environmental and safety regulations. Checking refrigerant pressure is an essential diagnostic step in AC maintenance. It helps determine whether the unit is operating efficiently and whether further service is needed. If you have any questions about this procedure, feel free to ask in the comments. If you found this guide useful, don't forget to like and share the video and subscribe to the channel for more HVAC tutorials. Thank you for watching.